morning, everyone. Welcome back to World Class Inventors. This is video number 38. And I thought I would put together a punch list for filing a provisional patent application. I've put together 2 pages of bullet points that I'm going to be integrating into this video. You can freeze frame it and you can see what the punch list is all about. And I think it will help you greatly consult and figure out what we're doing when it comes to filing a provisional patent. And I'll be following this video up with a second video on how to actually go about doing it on the ESF website. 3 things I want to discuss very briefly as housekeeping issues. The attorney I'm working with, he's a patent prosecution attorney and an intellectual property attorney, Emmett Colazzo. He's helping me file a continuation in part, and I recommend him wholeheartedly. He's very good. He's very experienced. He's just all around tremendous to work with. His link is in the description below. Another question I'm getting is, who do I use for a patent figure drawer? And his name is Jeremy Black, JBL Patents. He's located in the USA, in New Jersey, and he does all of his figure drawings in-house. Again, very good customer service, reasonable rates, very personable, excellent person to work with. So now you have the attorney, and now you have the figure drawer, 2 pieces to the puzzle that are crucial for what you're going to be doing when it comes to a non-provisional. Last bit of housekeeping is my 2 ebooks, The Greed of a Dime and the World Class Inventors Handbook. I've been getting a lot of requests for that, and I've been filling them out and sending them off. Go in the description below for the link to my email and or go to my website. Check out my website and you can find my contact page. Send me a quick email and I'll be happy to send you out either one of the ebooks. Okay, so let's go on and cover provisional patent checklist for 2023. I know it's a little late in the game. It's past mid-April, but the patent office seems to change things when they want, and it's kind of unannounced. So let me just bring you up to date. We're going to start off with your gross income. They raised that. It's $212,352. So if you're at that level or fall below, you're going to qualify as a micro entity. Now their fee schedule says that it's $64, and that's what's on the sheet. But I believe when you check out, they charge you $60. Keep in mind that the small entity fee is usually double of what the micro entity fee is. So let's say the micro entity fee is $60, the small entity is $20. And that is relative to your gross income or small corporations with X amount of employees in there. So every time you file a patent, the government wants you to tell them what you qualify for as far as income. And that's going to base your fees. So you can file as many provisional patents as you'd like, but it's always got to be accompanied with an income statement. Now, there's an income statement which is called the SB15A for micro entity. That's a 1-pager. You have to fill it out. But if you're a small entity, there is no page for that. You go on the honor system, and for the large entity, there is no page for that. You go on the honor system as well. When you are uploading your provisional patent application, and they get ready to ask you for your credit card and your fee, by default, it always comes up small entity. be aware of that. Scroll through the list and uncheck that and check off micro entity should you qualify for that. They always do that by default, and you have to purposely check off micro entity. So 2 forms. They're going to ask you for a financial form, which is the SB15A. Many of you make under 200 grand a year, so you're going to be going with that. And then the other form that they want is the SB16, and that is the provisional patent cover page. So they're going to always ask for your financial data, and they're going to always want a cover page, whether you're filing a provisional or a non-provisional. Keep that in mind. Okay, so the other question that comes up all the time is this: do I have to provide the government with any verification of my income, meaning a tax return, a W-2, a 1099? The answer is absolutely no. They're not interested in your income. They're only interested if you fall under that $212,000 range. The SB15A is a sworn statement that you're signing. It's an affidavit of sorts. You're swearing that you make under the $212,000 threshold. That's all that is. So don't be preoccupying yourself, and don't be looking for some additional form for you to fill out or uploading any part of your financial documents. The second page has to do with uploading your specification, and I put a couple of important things up there. When you're filing a provisional patent application, when you're thinking about it, go to your invention, the category or the classification that you're in. Try to download some patents that relate to what you're doing. And you're going to follow that as a rough draft or a guide on how to file your provisional patent. Now, non-provisional patents have an abstract. They have a section right after that you refer to prior art citations. Then it goes into your brief summary. Then it goes into the brief summary of your drawings. Then your detailed preferred embodiments and your claims. Those are the sections that make up a non-provisional patent. You don't have to follow that in order to file a provisional. A provisional patent is nothing more than a detailed as you can get it, memorialization of your idea. It gives you a date certain. It gives you what they call a priority date to go off of, and I'll explain that very quickly in a second. So it gives you a point in time in which you're registering your idea. It only lasts 365 days, and it will expire if you don't follow it up with a non-provisional patent application within that 365-day time frame. The provisional is not read by human beings. It's only clocked in. Now, they might say it's machine read, but it's just stored in a file system. And it stays there should you file the non-provisional off of that. So here's what happens. You file the non-provisional. Right then and there, you get a confirmation, at least a credit card confirmation, that you paid the $60 for this provisional patent application should you be a micro entity. Then another few days, a week later, you're going to get an email. It doesn't happen instantly. At least it didn't in my case. And it could be a week or so out, and you'll get an email with a registration number. That's another confirmation. So now we're up to 2. And then some 2 to 3 weeks later, sometimes almost a month, they will send you a hard copy in the mail of your registration number and basically documenting that you've uploaded a provisional patent application. So you have 3 points of receipt. So at what point do you start counting the clock? Well, I can't answer that. So all as I can really say is the moment you get your credit card receipt, that's the moment they received your file. They approved it, they received it. I would go off of the credit card receipt. I would disregard the email receipt and the hard copy because I don't know. Here's my point. You have a year in which to file the non-provisional. You have to have your ducks in a row mentally on how to do this. Your claims, your drawings, your detailed embodiments or detailed preferred embodiments, which is quite complicated, and I'll explain that in a second. You have to be ready. You have to have already done your marketing in your mind, have an outline, an evaluation, materials, etc. You should be fairly well along the way to submitting a non-provisional if that's what you're going to do. Now, why am I saying that? If you just file the provisional and think you're set, a year blows by during this calendar process very, very quickly. You have to be working with an attorney. You have to be working with a graphic artist on your drawings. And although you can submit the written aspect of your non-provisional and get that in, the office allows you up to 2 months to follow that up with your drawings. It doesn't have to be submitted all at once in a nice, neat bow like it used to. They give you a 60-day grace period to upload your finalized drawings. Point is, you need to be well along the way. I want to discuss a couple things. Your specification is where you describe what your invention is, what it does, how it's made, the materials it consists of, how it's manufactured perhaps, and most importantly, how it works and how it relates to other items, other prior art patent citations out there. Your specification is an instructional recitation of how to do this. It's almost like the scientific method where you do a laboratory experiment. The scientific method says that when you get a result, somebody else can take your methodology, perform that experiment, and get the same result. Well, that's what a patent is. You're teaching somebody who is either skilled in the art or somebody who is of ordinary skill and not skilled in the art how to do this. So that's what you have to be communicating. It is like directions when you put something together, but it's more detailed than that. Okay, provide the various materials, provide how you envision manufacturing and producing it. Here's something that's very important. Claims are not required in a provisional patent application, and I wouldn't advise putting in claims because they should be closely held to your vest until such time that you file the non-provisional. So claims aren't required. They come right out and say it, and I wouldn't do it. The other thing is formal drawings that a draftsman would do, they're not required either. However, you should do your own drawings to the best of your ability, stick figures, line drawings, whatever, and you should submit them because it helps strengthen what you're trying to document. You can use images, you can use pictures, you can use screenshots, you can use photographs. So when you're uploading the provisional patent application, they want a couple of specific files uploaded. Here we go. Your financial, which is the micro entity, and that's the SB15A. There is no form to be uploaded if you are a small entity, okay? Your word is good enough for that. There's no form for that. The other form they want is the cover sheet, which is the SB16. And then they want to know, are you submitting black and white line drawings, or are you submitting color line drawings? And then there's provisions for other files and images that you might want to upload. So there's only 3 categories, and they're separated, and you're prompted as to what to do. Here's the last thing I want to say. If your idea is special, and all ideas are special, but I mean in this way, do you contain special materials? Are you utilizing special materials? Are you utilizing a special manufacturing process, special procedures, formulas, that sort of thing? Things that the average person, or even somebody who is skilled in this art or this classification that your patent should fall under, are they going to be aware of some of your secrets? Well, if you think you have secrets, they fall under trade secrets. Do not include them in this memorialization. Do not include them in your provisional patent application. Hold on to them. Keep them closely held to your chest, all right? When it comes time to file the non-provisional, and you have somebody competent that you're working with, which is a patent agent who's licensed to file under the PTO auspices, or a patent attorney, often referred to as a patent prosecution attorney because he prosecutes or files applications. Tell them about your would-be trade secrets, and at that time, that individual will let you know whether they are trade secrets or not, whether you can put them into the specification or the detailed preferred embodiments or your claims. If you can keep them out of the patent and still have adequate claims, have adequate specification, do so, because they're going to be worth something to you when it comes time to either A, manufacture your product, or B, license it. As much as you can keep your patent a secret or your patent process a secret, the better off you are. Now, the prime example is Coca-Cola. I believe the formula was invented in 1856, thereabouts, so it's 150 years old or better. It's a secret. Yeah, there have been takeoffs of it. Pepsi is a known takeoff of it. Royal Crown Cola or other generic colas are takeoffs of it, but the formula has been a closely held trade secret. Wouldn't you think that the Coke formula is valuable? Well, the same thing with you and your patent. One last thing. I keep mentioning detailed preferred embodiments. When you pull up a patent that's been granted, you're going to see preferred embodiments or detailed preferred embodiments, same difference. It's you explaining your invention pictorially. You're going off of figure drawings. Each figure is broken down into separate details. There can be 10 details per drawing. There could be 25. It depends on what you're inventing. As you talk about how to make your invention through the detailed preferred embodiments, you're explaining how you're doing your invention, how you're making it pictorially through the figure drawings and the details of each figure drawing. Keep that in mind when you're doing your provisional patent as well. You don't have to submit something as complex as the detailed preferred embodiments, but you should be planning on that, because it's definitely a part of your non-provisional patent application, and it's very, very important. I hope this clears up some things for you. And in the next video I'm going to do on actually uploading the specification again and giving you some bullet points and some do's and don'ts, just clarifying things and trying to make it simple for you, because this seems to be the biggest topic of interest for the time being. And so I might as well give you the best information I can. All right, so thanks a lot for watching. God bless every one of you, and I hope to see you in the next video. Take care.